Have you ever felt like life was putting you through a storm that was so bad you couldn't understand it? Then you found out that it was actually keeping you safe from something much worse? It's easy to feel lost, confused, or even abandoned when everything seems to be going wrong. You might be confused about the reason you had to go through so much pain, heartache, and deception. What if I told you that everything that happened was meant to happen? That the hard times weren't meant to break you, but to wake you up? It can be very hard to see the truth when you're with a narcissist, especially if they have been a big part of your life as a love partner, close friend, or even family member. Narcissists don't always show who they really are. They don't put up a sign in your life that says, "I will use you for my own gain. I'm going to trick you." They never say, "I will break you down." Instead, they act like everything you've ever wanted, kind, caring, charming, and even deeply understanding. They make you feel safe, loved, and unique. So you let down your guard. But the cracks start to show after a while. Every little lie, every little put down, and every moment that makes you question your own reality adds up. It's too late by the time you understand something is wrong. They already have a tight grip on you. You don't know how you got here, or how to get out. You feel stuck. That's a narcissist's power. They can change not only how you feel, but also how you see the world. But here's what you need to know. God doesn't let his children walk into danger without knowing it. He can see things you can't. He knows what people mean when they say nice things and make empty promises. He also lets pain into your life sometimes, not as a punishment, but to wake you up. The betrayal, the confusion, and the broken heart are all meant to wake you up before the narcissist can destroy you fully. It hurts, but it has to be done because you might not have known you were in danger without the pain. How many times did you ignore the warning signs? How often did you try to explain away their bad behavior and tell yourself things weren't so bad? What number of times did you hold out hope that they would finally treat you the way you deserved? They were never going to change, though. God knew that too. He knew that you might have stayed in that bad loop forever if he hadn't stepped in and let the pain open your eyes. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Since you're watching, it means you want to understand better. Now you want to know what caused things to go the way they did. At last, you can see that the pain was worth it. It was meant to be that way. It was meant to free you. This message might be the proof you've been waiting for. So please read it all the way through. There are times when someone who seemed perfect at first turned out to be your worst fear. Or when things had to break down in such a painful way. This is for those times. You will finally understand what you need to do to let go and move on by the end of this. Don't forget to like, follow, and share this with anyone who might need to hear it before we start. You never know who is struggling behind closed doors, stuck in a position they don't fully understand. Let's start. There are times when something small is the first sign that God is showing you a narcissist in your life. It doesn't have any loud or bright lights or warnings. There is a quiet feeling that starts it, a deep, disturbing discomfort that you can't quite put your finger on. You may notice that being around this person feels different, even if nothing has changed that you can see. It's possible that their words don't make sense to you anymore, or that being around them drains you in a way that it never did before. This isn't something you made up. You can hear God saying to you that something isn't what it seems to be. This is divine intuition. You can feel that little voice in your head telling you to pay more attention. God sees everything. Even though narcissists are very good at lying and can hide who they really are behind charm and manipulation, he knows what they do at night. He knows how they feel. And when it's time, he starts to lift the veil, slowly showing you the truth that has been hidden. This might not make sense at first. You might try to ignore how you feel by telling yourself that you're just thinking too much about things. At least not yet. This person hasn't done anything clearly wrong. But that constant worry and rising unease? It's there for a reason. It's not by chance. It's a warning that gets you ready for what's coming. Then out of the blue, their mask starts to come off. At first, it happens in small ways that are hard to notice. A quick change in tone that was cold. An inappropriate joke about you. A response that seems strangely out of line with what's going on. It could be a joke insulted as a joke, or there could be a moment when their usual charm fades, showing something much darker. You might try to make sense of it, because you are a kind and understanding person. They might have been having a bad day. You might have got it wrong. There's something wrong with this, though. God doesn't let his people live in delusion for very long. He lets these moments happen, these tiny cracks in the picture they've painted, so you can start to see the truth for yourself. We don't want to see it, though. People who first showed us the best side of them are the ones we want to believe in. So we don't pay attention to the warning signs. We keep our hope alive. We tell ourselves that everyone is flawed, but God is patient. And if we don't pay attention to his gentle warnings, he will teach us the truth in a way that we can't escape. That is when it hurts. That's not just a little discomfort, real obvious pain. They might betray you in a way you didn't expect. They might make fun of you when you're feeling weak. Sometimes, when you need love and support the most, they leave you instead. Why would you let this happen to me? This is what a lot of people ask God at this point. Why did you let me believe them? Why did you let me get so attached, only to hurt me this way? When hearts are broken, a lot of people start to doubt his plan. But they don't understand that the pain is not a penalty. It's there to keep them safe. If things had stayed the same, and the narcissist had kept up their act for a little longer, you might not have left at all. You might have stayed stuck in their web because you thought things weren't that bad. Things would get better, and you could make it work. But God is smart enough to know what's coming. He knows that they will do more damage the longer you stay. They hurt you, but not to break you. They hurt you to wake you up before it's too late. And when you start to see the truth, things start to fall apart. Things are breaking down faster the more you try to hold on. It seems like everything you try doesn't work. There is more misunderstanding and anger every time they try to fix the relationship. It seems like things get worse every time you hope for them to get better. But this is also part of God's plan. No longer can you be tied to someone who was never meant to be in your life for a long time, because he is cutting the ties. Because narcissists don't change, that's the truth. They don't just wake up one day and become the kind, loving person you've always dreamed they could be. Additionally, God is not trying to fix a relationship that he never meant for you to stay in. You prayed for them to get better, but he knows they were never meant to be the person you thought they were. He is instead leading you out. He's getting you out of a situation that was only going to drain and hurt you more. Think about this. Maybe God isn't trying to fix this relationship, even though you feel like everything is falling apart, and you can't seem to fix things with them no matter what you do. He might be trying to save you from it. The lessons get harder as you fight them. You might not even know it's happening at first. Things in life start to feel heavy and more difficult. You may lose small things, like chances you didn't take advantage of, setbacks you weren't expecting, and friendships that seem to fade for no clear reason. It's not random, even though it looks like it is. These losses aren't punishments, they're part of a bigger process. It's really taking away everything that held you back from leaving the narcissist. God is taking away your false attachments, the fake hopes that things would get better one day, and the illusions you held on to. Even the people in your life who agreed with or explained away the narcissist's actions start to disappear. At first, it feels like you're not in charge. You might be confused about why everything is breaking down at the same time. Why does life seem to be taking things away from you instead of giving them to you? In reality, though you're not being punished, you're being set free. What feels like loss is actually God's plan to save you. He's freeing you from chains you didn't even know you were wearing. This process might not make sense. You could feel hurt or even angry. You are only trying to be a good person, right? Don't you think you were just trying to love, forget, and wait? But here's the thing, God sees everything. You'll keep giving your all to something that will never give you back, if he lets you hold on. He is aware that sticking close to the narcissist will make things worse. Him pulling you away, even if it means shaking your whole world, even when you try to ignore him. Then comes the moment of discovery. All of a sudden, things make sense. As the fog lifts, you become more clear on what's going on. It all comes back to you like a flood. The moments you ignored, the manipulation you didn't see, and the reasons you made. It's like someone turned on a switch. Things that you used to ignore are now blatantly clear to you. It's like God turned on a bright light in a completely dark room. And you can see the ego for what they really are. This truth is hard to accept. It is shocking, confusing, and even heartbreaking. How did I not see this before? You might ask. Why did I let this last so long? Don't be too hard on yourself, though. You just weren't ready to see it before. It had to be the right time. You can't go back now that you see. It is impossible to put together a dream after it has been broken. And that's exactly what God meant. He doesn't want you to have false hopes. He doesn't want you to be stuck in a situation that makes you feel bad over time. He wants you to be free. Now comes the hardest part, the last test. Are you going to leave? This is where a lot of people have trouble. Because following the truth is not the same as knowing it. The change will be felt by the narcissist. They'll feel you leaving, and it will make them sad. That's why they'll do what they do best, trick you. They might say they're sorry, apologize through tears, or promise to change. They might act like the victim, and make you feel bad for even thinking about leaving. They might say things like, "You're the only one who gets it," or, "I can't believe you gave up on me after everything." And because you cared so much about them before, it might be easy to believe them. You now know the truth, though. You understand what the cycle is. You know this road doesn't lead anywhere, because you've been down it before. Will you believe what God has shown you? Or are you going to let fear and comfort pull you back into the same painful pattern? A new trip starts when you decide to walk away. It will not be easy to heal, but it will be worth it. You might feel alone at first. There will be waves of sadness. You might even question your choice, and wonder if you were too tough, or if there was more you could have done to help things work out. But wait, the pain will go away soon. There won't be a forever void. Because it's true, God never takes something away, without giving us something better in its place. Soon, peace will fill the space that feels empty right now. There will be less misunderstanding and more clarity. You will no longer feel endless anxiety and self-doubt. Instead, you will feel strong and confident. Small steps will lead to bigger ones until you look back and see that you are not the same person you were when you were stuck in that loop. But you have to trust the process for it to work. You need to trust that God wouldn't have told you the truth if He didn't have something better planned for you. He wouldn't have let you feel the pain of loss if He wasn't going to use it to make you better. Your freedom, peace, and mending are already happening, even if you can't see it yet. Do not stop. Do not lose faith. The road ahead is so much better than the one you left behind. Take comfort in the fact that you are not alone if this word spoke to you. This road has been taken by a huge number of people who have felt the same heartbreak, confusion, and deep loss. Truth be told, people who have been through this and made it through didn't just live. They got stronger. They learned more. They became more spiritually aware than they had ever been before. What might feel like a breaking point right now is actually a big step forward. God never lets pain happen for no reason. Every tear, every angry moment, and every question that you still don't have an answer to helps you become the person you were meant to be. Trust that this is not the end of your story if you are going through this right now and feel like the ground is breaking under you. Your story doesn't end here. It's really a fresh start that will take you to something much better than what you're leaving behind. It takes time to heal, and the road ahead might not always be smooth. Sometime you'll start to doubt yourself and wonder if you made the right choice. But don't let short-term feelings make you forget what God told you is true. Today's pain isn't meant to kill you. It's meant to set you free. I want to hear from you now. God may have opened your eyes to a narcissist in your life from time to time. Did you feel that uneasy feeling? That growing sense that something wasn't right? Or maybe you've already left and are now in a place of healing, thinking about all the things you've been through. Feel free to share your story in the comments, no matter what it is. You never know who might need to hear what you have to say. Sometimes, telling someone about what you've been through is just what they need to hear to get the courage to move forward. This message should have touched you deeply. Please don't forget to like this movie if it did. This word can reach more people. And today it could be someone who needs to hear it. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future movies about getting better, growing spiritually, and ending bad relationships. Also, show this movie to someone who is having a hard time with this right now. A word of support can turn someone's whole life around. Remember to stay strong, loyal, and believe in God's plan until next time. Remember that God's safety doesn't always come in the form of open doors. Sometimes it comes in the form of hard goodbyes. They always lead to something better though. Do not stop. You're not by yourself, and the best times are yet to come.